Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dojo Live. Today is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. I am Tulio Siragusa, broadcasting from Southern California, joined today by Carlos Ponce in Cuernavaca, Mexico, and Kim Lantis in Hermosillo, Mexico, my co-hosts. Hi, guys.
Thank you.
Hello.
Pleasure to be
Welcome
here.
back. It's good to be back. We had a bit of a time off last week, so we're excited to speak with our guest today, Larry Rosenzweig, who's chiming in from New York. He's with Cquence, and we're looking forward to speaking with you, Larry. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, what are we talking about today? Well, 50 million people out there, many of you watching, make money online. So, there's a lot of other people wondering, how can I make money online? So we're going to be talking about how to become a creator, a revenue generating creator, content creator, or something else. Let's dig in. Before we do, let's get to know Larry a little bit. Larry, please tell us about yourself, and then we'll get some more information about Cquence.
For sure. Well, once again, thanks for having me today. So my background is in video production and technology. Over the last decade, I've made a feature film. I've put films into different festivals and even sold one to a distribution platform. So really my background is in the love and passion for creating any type of video content and storytelling. And over the last few years, I've blended my experience in technology with my love and passion for filmmaking to build Cquence.
Cool. Love that. So what is Cquence? What gave birth to this idea? What is that you guys do?
Sure. So really my team over the last decade has had the experience of running small video production companies, being individual video creators. And what we realize is that every video creator has a common problem. It's the fact that they need to watch back all of their footage. So with Cquence, we've built really strong automation technology that saves video creators 90% of their time manually spent searching for a specific person or an object or a quote. And our mission, like you said at the top of the broadcast, is to help these online creators, many of who are creating video content as part of their online business, dramatically accelerate their video creation workflow, not only to save significant time, but to also generate significant revenue.
Okay, so we're going to be closely listening today ourselves because I think we kind of need this. Beatrice, who puts up a lot of our content, is our marketing leader, has to swift through hundreds of hours of videos to find some interesting clips to post, to promote, and it's a lot of work. So we should definitely pay attention to what we learned today because there may be usability for us. So let's go right into it. Kim, will you please introduce the show?
Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here, Larry. We've already done, I think, a really great job of introducing today's show. However, the chosen topic is the rise of the creator economy. So I'm seeing two key words there, creator and economy. I think the definition of creator could be rather broad. So I'd like to sort of dive into two things to get us started. One, what does it mean to be a creator? And two, before we talk about how to generate that revenue, I'd like your input on the mind shift that needs to happen to go from, I like this is fun, and I'm passionate, to, hey, I could probably make money off of this. So what is it? What is a creator, and what needs to happen within a creator's mind to decide that they want to make money off of their creativity?
Yeah, it's a great question. To start with, what is a creator? Like you said, it is a broad definition. It can mean anyone who's creating, content through blogs, through images, through blogging and video content as well. And really, what gets you from being like someone who's just creating content for fun to thinking about a revenue generating strategy is, at least the way we see it, is once you enter that realm of being a micro influencer, which is at a minimum having 500 subscribers to one of your channels, because at that time you are already available for brands to potentially want to partner with you, because you have certain levels of engagement and authenticity with your niche audience that maybe other brands and other influencers might not have.
So that's the entry point, basically.
The magic number.
500 subscribers on like something like YouTube, TikTok. Can you give us a little more specificity around that?
Sure. I would say this number can vary widely. There's posts around how 100 followers is the minimum number to start considering a video strategy, a revenue strategy. We've also seen 1,000, even 10,000. But those were, the 1,000 followers is the number from maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Andreessen Horowitz put out a blog post that became pretty, widely, seen around how 1,000 true fans can generate content for a creator. And that's why platforms like Patreon and Twitch, for example, have become very popular. And only a year or two ago, an updated version of that post has focused on, why is it 1,000? It might actually just be 100. And from what we've seen with our early users, we've split the difference at 500 to start.
The keyword is niche here. And this reminds me of a conversation we had a couple years ago with one of our DojoLIVE guests, Yossi Ginsberg. And he related markets to his experience with the Amazon jungle and how really there's enough resources to go around. You just have to specialize in, like animals do, and what, how they are able to thrive in such a competitive environment. So let's talk about then this transition. I've hit my magic number. I have a niche. How do we go about making that a revenue generator?
Yeah, it's a great question. It really depends on what channel you're on. Like you could be on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. Using, say, YouTube as an example, there's a few ways you can, specifically for YouTube, you need to hit certain requirements. So they still require, if you want to get into their ad revenue sharing program, you have to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 publicly viewed hours of video content before you can start generating revenue through their formal ad partnership program. But there's other ways to generate revenue too. You can leverage influencer partnerships with brands through product placement and linking out to those products below your video content as well.
This is so different from historically in publishing. I mean, to make money, you have to reach millions of eyeballs, right? To monetize the audience, you're not going to make anything until you reach that level, right? So, but this is such a different thing that I'm hearing, that as a creator, as an individual creator, you don't have to reach those levels of followers. You can actually start making money with some really loyal subscribers, as low as 500 people. But what kind of content are people hungry for? Like, what's gaining traction and why?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I think it really depends, as Kim was saying, on your audience. So it could really be anything. They could be explainer videos for like how cryptocurrency works, all the way to teaching and tutorial related videos on like how to bake the best sourdough to get through your pandemic, and everything in between. So we're seeing that video content that's coming from live streams like this, Zoom calls, content recorded on your phone or on your affordable DSLR camera are becoming very popular sources of your footage, and then that content's being repurposed in all types of ways.
Interesting. So what are some of the? Go ahead, Kim. I'll hold my thought.
No, I was going back to, I think, our conversation, the introduction of the question of repurposing content. I want to talk about Cquence. It intrigued me with this AI element, and you mentioned like visual, like, so if I've got like, I don't know, a coffee cup in my video, can it find the scene where there's a coffee cup? Like, what is the extent of what you're doing and what are the use cases?
Great question. So we can find you with a high degree of confidence coffee cup. Not only that, we'll find you the specific moment or moments in time within a given video file where coffee cup shows up. We can't get you that next level deeper though. So if you search for like, I guess like macchiato, or I'm thinking like of a specific drink, like a mocha versus an espresso. We can't necessarily get you that level of detail yet.
Yeah. And what are the use cases for this? So, okay, I need to find a coffee cup. Why? I get the time savings, but what are the use cases?
Yeah, great question. Once again, depends. If let's say you're a vlogger, you have a YouTube channel with say 25,000 followers. You often partner with brands. Maybe you're at a hotel resort, recording your time there, and you're spending a few days there, and one of your breakfasts is at the like nice hotel lobby, and you're drinking some coffee. Like you guys were talking about a few minutes ago with having hours of footage as part of that vlogger's brand driven trip. He or she may have, say 10, 20, 30 hours of content. It would take forever to, search manually and review all that content just to find that specific moment of the coffee shot. But maybe that shot needs to make it into the final video to promote that brand.
Larry, I got a question here. I am a language enthusiast, let's call it that, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask you specifically about the transcription part. I'm always intrigued by transcription, and especially automated transcription, because, well, at least based on what I've seen out there, maybe talking about YouTube, things like that, the automated transcription is a little, let's call it messy. It's not that clean usually.
Sure.
You need to download it, work on it, and so there's a human element in there. So
Carlos is being kind when it comes to how good those transcriptions are. They suck. Let's call it the way it is. They suck. Go ahead, Carlos.
Anyway, thank you for the interruption, Tulio. Appreciate it. So what I was saying is that while you get this transcription part, how do you go about technologies like AI, for example, to make sure that are you planning or are you using AI to make the process smoother, it's more streamlined? And if so, what are the challenges when you move into the realm of localization, for example? How do you go about solving those issues, or not issues, but those challenges that may come about?
Yeah, it's a great question, Carlos. So first off, yes, we're using AI for both the visual tagging and the audio tagging. So there's no human in the loop behind the scenes doing anything manually. So specifically on audio transcription, right now, the quality is dependent on the quality of your input. So from a live stream like this, I would say the quality will be, between 80 to 95%, depending on, a couple factors. But overall, for video creators using Cquence, they're generally very happy with that. And we do give capabilities around modification and make it very simple for you to find the lower confident words, which we're transparent about. And you can just easily modify those words if and when you need to. In terms of localization, we do have some capabilities that we're developing right now to enable third-party integrations for transcription services that do enable localization, but we haven't publicly released those yet.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it.
This is awesome because essentially what it does is it's a tool that allows a creator to continue being creative, right? I get to use my time in thinking about ways that I can utilize my content rather than sifting through my content. So what are some of the, let's say, more creative ways, use cases that you've seen people using Cquence? Anything fun or extremely unique or even just productive that comes to mind?
Yeah, well, lots of examples. A couple that come to mind are we have one Twitch streamer who imports in several hours of stream content that him and his growing brand are creating on a weekly basis, and he has told us consistently that Cquence is saving him hours every week because he doesn't have to manually scrub through those live streams after the fact anymore to find specific instances where a quote was said or where there was a fan shout out and then he spoke about it, or other types of engagement between him as the creator and the fans who are watching their Twitch stream. Another example that I think is interesting is around filmmaking. So we have documentary filmmakers, we have also scripted web series creators using Cquence as well. And they're saving significant time using our platform to search for specific moments from a visual perspective, as well as the quotes, like I was mentioning earlier, because you could come in with 10 to 100 hours of source footage, and it's just historically a bottleneck to have to find all of that manually.
Right. Can you also use this reverse? I'm sorry, friend. I beat you. I'm talking about video footage, and I'm thinking about the classic Game of Thrones where that stupid Starbucks coffee cup shows up completely out of place. Everybody knows what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Can you do the reverse? Could you use this as like an editing tool? Like what I don't want to show up?
It's a great question. So we look at Cquence as, I would say, just for context, it's a combination of like the power of Google search and the seamless drag and drop user experience of a Trello. So once you find what you're looking for, you can just drag it in to your rough cut editor in our platform. So if you want to find that coffee cup, which I know the exact moment in Game of Thrones you're referencing, Kim, we'd probably be able to find it. I do recall that one shot was pretty dark. So depending on the exposure and the lighting, it could vary in terms of detection.
Okay, so Larry, how does it work? Is it does it overlay against the current video streams, or like if where does it capture the content from? Do you have to run it through Cquence, or you can? How does it work?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the way it works is you have to start with your footage locally today. Eventually, we will likely enable integrations directly from where your footage is sourced on the cloud. But because video creation still mostly happens on the desktop, we decided to build a platform that would be both hybrid desktop and web. So our recommendation is you download your footage from your stream, from your cloud storage, or import it from your local file system. And then as simple as, import in one file or 1,000 files into Cquence, let Cquence behind the scenes automatically go frame by frame and tagging everything, both from a video recognition standpoint and audio transcription standpoint. During that process, you go get a coffee, you go to sleep, let it run overnight, do other work in parallel. Kim, like you got it earlier, we give back that time for higher order thinking and creativity. So once we've tagged everything, you can just get back into being creative and doing the work you love.
Yeah,
Larry,
I love that it's plural. Like load it all in. It doesn't have to go one by one. It's great.
Larry, one quick thing. I'm just intrigued. Who's your user? I see that it's a very empowering tool for content creators, especially video content creators specifically.
Sure.
So, but who's your user? Who's your space? Your group, or tribe, however you want to call it. Are we talking about mostly independent folks who are want to get into the YouTubing world, or are you talking about actual professional video creators that are aiming at just making their jobs and their lives a little bit easier? Who's your? Would you mind elaborating on that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So it's ultimately the individual video creator. So we're not targeting large enterprises or large companies. We're looking at how do we dramatically accelerate the workflows for individuals, for teams surrounded around these individuals. And, to your point, it could vary on that persona. So it could be a Twitch streamer, it could be a YouTube vlogger, it could also be a professional video editor who runs a 1 or 2 person shop and ultimately is using platforms like Adobe Premiere today, and we very seamlessly integrate in with Adobe Premiere to accelerate the workflow there first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
thank you.
How does one pay for it? Is it a subscription? What is the sort of average cost for this kind of platform?
Sure. So it's a SaaS subscription model. You can start by using our free plan. So if you go to cquence.app/pricing, you'll be able to see the different plans there. And in terms of the pricing, we're looking at a standard plan at $9 per month, and then it'll scale accordingly based on amount of footage and certain types of feature capabilities.
All right. So if you're just starting out, it's not going to break the bank. You can it's low hurdle entry. It's awesome.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Going back to a really common theme we've had all year, and that's the customer experience and making things accessible, spot on. Mm-hmm. What's next? What's next for the technology? I know that you've thrown in a couple limitations, like we talked about, like audio quality. I think we talked about lighting. So tech-wise, what do you see coming up in the near future, and what are like these big accomplishments that we might be able to accomplish in the further out?
Yeah, it's a great question. We are laser focused right now on collaboration. So we focused on initially providing value for the individual creator, and a lot of the individuals started inviting their clients or fellow creators to participate in the video creation experience, and they're hacking together even like with Cquence as is, some of the collaboration capabilities that we haven't even formally released yet. So we've been working closely with a lot of folks who are very passionate about collaboration and the value that'll create. So definitely on our near-term focus. And then, from like more of an AI perspective, we definitely see long-term, like you were mentioning, Kim, continuing to develop our data strategy to include things like, improving search in low light, being able to find things, that are maybe a little bit blurred out, searching on, logos, faces, that sort of thing.
Is that proprietary, what you guys have developed in terms of that search, or is that some open source technology? Just curious how you guys are doing that.
It's a great question. So yeah, it's proprietary. We've been developing, the technology in-house and leverage different, open source capabilities where applicable to basically fit in with the video specific workflow that we're developing.
Wow, that feature itself, you can make tons of money licensing that to other video platforms.
He's like, I know.
Great idea. Is that part of a potential future, thought process for you guys?
It's definitely something that we think about, and we've had some early conversations around. Honestly, what excites us most is saving the video creator, the way that we didn't have that platform initially. Like, we set out to develop Cquence because we were searching for Cquence and we couldn't find it online. We started attending meetups and speaking on behalf of this concept, AI for video creation. We posted on different forums and realized this wasn't just the couple individuals problem that we were experiencing on our team. It was a mass market challenge to be able to assemble your video very quickly through AI, through automation. So, ultimately our goal is to help video creators as the creator economy continues to become more sophisticated and expand.
Have meaningfulness, have purpose, and success will find you. We hear that again and again as well. Congratulations. What else? What is it like at Cquence? What would you describe your company culture as, and why might people want to join your team?
Yeah, it's a great question. Let's see. The quote that we always like to say is, you come for the work, but you stay for the people. And it's, resonant to us because at the end of the day, we're building a platform for a community of video creators, through bottoms up, community-driven adoption. And, it needs to start, through us. We love building our community here at Cquence and feel that if we can translate that out to the customer, that's the most important thing and why people love working with us.
Hey, that reminds me of you, Kim, when you came to Mexico. You came for the hubby and stayed for the food? Ring a bell?
Something like that.
Something like that, right?
I'm sure Mike loves that saying.
He eats here too. He knows that it's true. And with a mom like him who can cook food like she can.
There's some great food.
Good story.
It's like a foodie's town.
My first visitation, it lasted, we were still dating before I moved here. 3-week long trip, and I gained like 10 pounds in 3 weeks, and I'm not even kidding. It was worth it.
Yeah. So congratulations. Obviously, you're dialed into the gig economy. That's really where everything is moving, and empowering individuals to be creators, generate their own income, and to contribute their own values on their own terms. Just fantastic. And it looks like you have a great culture, attracting people that want to work in a team collaborative environment. I'm just curious, like, what company would stand to be a big winner by acquiring you guys?
Ooh. It's a very loaded question.
You don't have to answer it, but I'm just curious, like, you obviously have something that's highly competitive and of value. I was just wondering, like, which big company would gain value from this? Is it Adobe? Is it Google? YouTube? I'm just curious, because obviously this
all
is
of the above,
a groundbreaking technology that you're disrupting an industry.
Yeah, and I think, look, both of those are potential options, but we don't wake up every morning thinking about, like, what are we doing today to figure out how we're going to get acquired, in 2 years. Like, we're working every day to figure out how do we become $100 million a year business. The comparable we like to model ourselves after is Figma, which is a leader in the collaborative design platform. And we're very excited by what they're doing, and continue on a daily basis, following a similar playbook where we're able to develop a fast, intuitive, collaborative video creation platform that's really accessible for any purpose. And through that mission, our excitement and motivation is really around growing the business to be as big as possible.
Spoken
Awesome.
like a true creator.
Love it. Well, Larry, it's been great to have you with us today. We're up on time. We could talk for hours about this, but we are up on time. Let's stay in touch and see how you progress along with this. We certainly we should look into this ourselves, guys. There's probably some opportunities for us to use this platform for sure. So thanks for being with us. Hang out for a few minutes as we go off the air. What do we got coming up, Carlos?
Well, Tulio, tomorrow we're going to be answering one question, and that question is, how will AI find your ICP, your ideal client profile, for you? So we're going to be speaking with Julian Winkle, the CEO of Athena, and we're going to be doing that right here on Dojo Live at 12 p.m. Pacific. So folks, if you're watching, join us tomorrow for the future of prospecting. How will artificial intelligence find your ICP for you? That's what we have for tomorrow right here on Dojo Live. And then, of course, on Monday, no, wait a minute. Monday, there's no recap.
Tuesday. We're having a 10 a.m. on Tuesday because Monday's a holiday.
Exactly. So let's wait until Tuesday for the recap. And that's what we have right here on Dojo Live.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye for now.